Department of Political Science and Public Administration, coming under Faculty of Arts, organizing this grand program on faculty development program COVID-19 and the new international order. It's a great pleasure to have you all with me, and you have selected me as one of your resource persons. I am much more thankful and grateful to all of you. It is a great subject also. At this juncture, you have organized it's a very good program in the university of your department of political science. So I am much more thankful and grateful to all of you for this offering the chance for me to talk about you. As Madam told, the faculty members were all great, and the head of the department, Dr. Subramaniam, and other Subramaniam, Madam, and other organizers are highly great because of this program. I am much more thankful to all of you in this morning. And the title also you had selected is a very wonderful title under your department. It's a COVID-19 and the post international relations in this new world. So, as Madam told that I my primary education, secondary education were all in Sri Lanka. We underwent much more difficulties, and this ethnic crisis put me in Madras, and I was able to do my higher studies in the Madras University, and it was a blessing in disguise for me also to get a good education in Chennai. Then I had a good friends, and still I have a good friends there, and it's a very much feasible for me during those days. And most of the lecturers from different colleges and the Madras University, they helped me a lot. Professor Jagadishan was my supervisor for the PhD, and he was much more great. And because of his guidance and his contribution for my development was great on those days. And I was fortunate enough to have to be a lecturer also in the University of Madras for 2 years, and it gave me a good experience with the postgraduate students, and I was able to guide many students during my tenure over there. Then after that, I returned to Sri Lanka, and I am working in the Southeastern University of Sri Lanka. It's a very good university. It's in the eastern part of Sri Lanka, and it's really it's a grown-up university now, and many lecturers in the political science department, and they are my friends, and we are going in hand, a good relationship with the political science department. History and political science go together. History is the root, and the political science is the fruit. So, in that relationship, we are here to talk about the international relations after the coronavirus and how it is going to have a time in the future. So it's a very good opportunity. All of you know that Annamalai University has a great tradition, and one of my close relations, studied in the Annamalai University. She was a flower, and it's a great thing to be associated with the Annamalai University, and I am fortunate enough to be with them in this very good morning. Yeah, I am just opening my PowerPoint. So I could say, what is international relations? Is it clear? Can you all hear, please? Hello?
It is audible, madam, no problem.
Okay. So it's a very international relations now it is highly changed. What is international relations? The relations between the nations. We
But
say
PowerPoint share agala, madam.
Oh,
As usual, screen போயிட்டு அந்த sharing போயிட்டு.
1 minute. What about now?
Not yet started, madam. இங்க அந்த ஸ்கிரீன்ல கீழே ஷேர் ஸ்கிரீன் இருக்கு பாருங்க.
Screen போயிட்டு அங்கே.
As usual. As usual, slide from the beginning. Slide show and then from the beginning.
It's good now.
Left from the beginning, click பண்ணுங்க leftல. Okay, it's good. Okay, madam. Let's proceed now. Okay.
Yeah, what is international relations? At present, we could say the relationship between the nations were good for betterment. There may be a good relationship, there may be a different relationship, there may be a cultural relationship, there may be a relationship for the armed struggle. So many relationships are there with among the nations. So we can see, if we see the effects of the World War I and II, after the World War I, lot of losses were there. People lost their life, armed struggle, and there were many distractions during the World War I. And after the World War I, the countries decided to go for the League of Nations, but for some time it functioned, but later it was not able to function. And again, we could say the Second World War got started. And during the Second World War, we lost so many lives, so lost so many goods, and every people suffered a lot during the Second World War. And after the Second World War, really the relationship between the countries entirely changed. The diplomatic relationship, the cultural relationship, the economic relationship, political relationship, everything got changed after the Second World War. And the United Nations was formed to create a peace and social harmony after the Second World War. They don't want to go for another World War because of the sufferings of the people. All knew what type of incidents took place, the Hiroshima and Nagasaki incidents, and the real sufferings were there after the Second World War. Then the United Nations was formed, and the people started coming up from the suffering. But still, we have some effects after the World War. People from Japan, and they had some health problem. There's born children, stillborn children were there. The health and other hygienic problems were there, and many other countries suffered a lot. So this type of relationship lasted for some time. Then the Cold War took place. The relationship between the US and the Soviet Union, it was a very competitive one, and they want to compete each other, and they want to beat each other and control the world. They were bipolar system. The US had another side of the superpower. Then Russia had another type of superpower. So they were competing each other. The bipolar system got shut down, and the unipolar system started. The United Nations was in between all these things, and we can say UN became the US hand. And this was the problem in the universe, how the United Nations were able to listen the unipolar system and the United States ideas. So this created another problem, the tension between the nations over armed struggle and terrorism. And the UN and the US, they were in one side, and other sufferings of the people due to the terrorism and the armed struggle were high. And the people culturally, they suffered, ethnically they suffered. The ethnic cleansing took place in different countries, and under the unipolar system, the superpower able to handle the issues by the arms. You can see how the Korean problem were there. And after that, in South Asia, we had a problem between Kashmir and India. And there are in Sri Lanka also, we had a problem. So these were the issues with the armed struggle and terrorism. So there was some group of people, they wanted to have their own nation. We can say in history, we would have studied the nationalism, why nationalism emerged. So what was the background for the emergence of nationalism? They don't want to have a, uh, they don't want to live under one superpower or one country's um, uh, hegemony. So this is the issue with the nationalism. So nations were born, and the people from different parts of the areas of the country, they, if they are suffered by their own government or any other problem, they wanted to live of their own. So they took arms, and it became the armed struggle, and it was named as a terrorism also without understanding their own struggle. The name got the name was given as terrorist activities. So this was the issue with the nation struggle and ethnic problem. So after this type of struggle, they were still going on. The countries, the superpower wanted to go for a controlling all the world, and the people all uh, had to listen what they were telling. Then after this corona incident, all you know, it started in 2019, and that it got emerged, and that virus problem got emerged in China, and it started in China, Wuhan itself. So many people died due to that corona. Then after corona got spread all over the world, especially in Europe. What we were talking about Europe during the medieval period of Europe, during the modern period of Europe, Europe was having it's a very good health conditions. They were having a very good life. Their social life was good uh, as per the assessment. Then their social life was good and the health conditions were good. But what had happened? The corona got spread, especially in Europe, very quickly, especially in America, Italy, and Russia. So they, I know, really the effect of the corona was very much high in US. So people suffered a lot. They died in lakhs. So still they are dying there. So this type of incident, this plague, really created a vacuum in the power. So this Europe in US, it was a very big problem. US is trying hard to overcome all these things. Still, people are dying over there. So the clash between China and US is very difficult. The president of the United States is trying to accuse China for the spreading of corona to their country and to all over the world also. So China is claiming to become a superpower because the economical life, the political life, the social life of the affected countries got damaged, and they are unable to come up due to the quarantine situation. All the borders of the countries were closed. People are indoors and no movement. Even we also cannot go out of our home. So this is the situation during the quarantine period. So this shattered the economy of the countries. So this issue became a very uh, difficult time. The economical condition is also become poor. So at this juncture, China is trying to become a superpower and want to, even now they want to sell on masks to other countries and other health instruments and the additional export things, additionally exporting things to other countries. So this is not welcomed by the other European countries. So they wanted to have a big show. And at the same time, China is in South Asia also. China is has its own big hand in India, in Sri Lanka. So we can say the Ladakh incident recently in India, and in Sri Lanka it has been already there. China's hand is already there in different aspects. So this is the situation, China's situation. China's got spread economically everywhere. So it is trying to fill up the vacuum of the situation. So now the United States is trying to have a good relationship with India and Sri Lanka. So this type of vacuum is should be cleared or filled up. So this China is trying to do the filling up this vacuum. Then we can say how the multiple power centers can be emerged. So after the shattering of the United States superpower situation, and they are unable to come out with their own difficulties, and the people are under very health sufferings. The president of United States is unable to come up or cope up with the situation. So other nations may join together, and it will be a multiple power center in Europe as well as South Asia and Southeast Asia. Then China, Japan, US, Russia, they all will have a different type of relationship. And India also will have a superpower in South Asian region. So India is trying to show its strength in this region. But there are some difficulties in that also. The power centers will be in the future will have its own hand to act as their as a big powers in these regions, the particular regions. So we can, after the coronavirus and how it could be effects, it will have its own effects in the nations. We can say this crisis is a global scale currently affecting the nations, international bodies, citizens, and caused diplomatic tension also. The every nations they are suffering, and they wanted to have their own health problem should be solved. They are concentrating on their health problem only. They are unable to cope up with the other economic problem and social problems. When we say so social distance, so we cannot have a group discussion, so we cannot go for any public meeting. All those things are there in the social distance. And again, the diplomatic tensions in the sense the nations cannot have there are no flights, proper passenger flights for their economic development or for their tourist or cultural programs. So at this juncture, the tensions are developed between the nations and the citizens. So this situations created the political theories harsh. So what we thought we could able to go ahead with our own program according to their political systems or according to their country's diplomatic relations. So this type of harshness in the political theories got developed during this coronavirus period, and the people were shut down and they were indoors and they cannot move, and even between the districts we cannot go, even between the countries we cannot fly or go for by ship or anything. It is really shattered. So this situation made us to confine to our homes, everything. This virus is not tied to any particular region, no grant immunity to nations also. So this virus got spread everywhere. It was not confined to any particular country or particular region. So people were unable to they were unable to develop immunity. So immunity to nations also was not there. So they are under tension. The nations, among the nations, the tensions got developed. Due to that, image actually after the First World War. You all know that how many pandemic issues got developed during the World War One, and it was the home front mentality developed during after the First World War because of the uh, corona plagues, because of the plagues during those times. So they suffered a lot. They followed the home front mentality, and people could not move out. Also, these dominant theories and perspective in the field of international relations took root. And what had happened, their theories all were not applicable. They all got failed during this time, corona time. They could not go ahead according to the political theories. This was the problem with the behaving of the different nations. Then we could say the diplomatic contacts played a secondary role. During this time, the countries could not able to go for their old relationship. So diplomatic relationship got changed, and it was they gave importance to their own health problems and other hygienic situations. This was the main reason. The coronavirus was the main reason for the other issues. The diplomatic issues all got secondary role, played a secondary role. So domestic and medical issues became critical issues, and they gave importance to the domestic and medical issues. The countries could not go for any other economical contacts or economic development or export or import of their goods. Those all were in standstill. So people concentrated on their health conditions and hygienic situations, quarantine situations, and the people could not move anywhere. So it got shut down everywhere. The things got shut down, and people died a lot. So this is the situation in this time. The trade and flow of goods became standstill, as I said earlier. The unsettled global economy. The global economy became very standstill. They could not move at all. We actually all the countries did not have any economic transportations with the other countries, and whatever the importance, the basic items were not able to transport it between the countries. So this the economic problem became the major issue during this post-coronavirus period. Still, coronavirus is getting spread even in America today. In California, there were a lot of deaths. In India, a lot of deaths were there. So it is still finding a second and third stage. So we don't know how it can be really controlled. The bans on certain medical products and other food items, so people cannot buy all the food items, and local products only can be consumed. It actually the corona during the coronavirus period, uh, due to the due to the economic problem and due to the lack of products coming into the country, we are really improving our own products. We have to grow of our own vegetables or own our food items. So this is the positive aspects to fulfill ourselves, or self satisfaction should be there. So this ban on certain medical products, it was also the in one way it was good, but other way we had to depend on the medical items from other countries to safeguard our people from the pandemic coronavirus. We have to get some drugs or medicines or the masks, especially. We are really depending other countries for the masks. This is another issue is policymakers are unable to take diplomatic actions. So most of the countries, they are concentrating on their health issues and hygienic aspects. So they are uh, unable to go for any diplomatic actions or high thinking or for any other educational development or any other positive things. So this pandemic coronavirus is making all the nations to think in a different way. So very narrow down all the development aspects. So policymakers or diplomatics, they are very much reluctant or unable to go for the real development or real progress of their country uh, with the relationship of other nations. This pushed the focus of politics and policy into law politics. Law politics, in the sense, we can say the real politics uh, become a second type of politics. So people are not able to go for the good relationship with the nations. So this become a very low politics, and people are suffering due to this. Even in Sri Lanka, the government made arrangements to get down all the people from different countries, those who went on economical development or went on education, went on cultural, or went on tours. Those who were the Sri Lankan, those who were stranded in different countries were brought by the special flight to Sri Lanka. So their movements were also closed down in the different countries. Then the lack of institutional channels and the mechanism to accurately developed. The institutional channels also got reduced. The education institutions, economic institutions, other social institutions were not able to function. So they were very closed in all the countries. Those type of importance were not given for the real development. Actually, the institutional channels were closed and they were not able to function properly. This was the situation with the different countries. Then we can say Ecuador and Brazil are an example of uneven developments. They were not able to develop because of the coronavirus and they suffered a lot. The democracies are also under obligation. Uh, we cannot say all the countries could able to go for their democratic activities and they were unable to concentrate on the democratic activities of the particular aspects. So this was also a big problem. We are unable to uh, see the people with the democratic ideas. They were not able to concentrate in this way. So this is another issue by the coronavirus. Then isolation of nations increased in this crisis management as a second help. They had to seek the help from others. The isolations of nations, actually, this made the nations to concentrate only on health aspects. The World Health Organization also instructed the nations to concentrate in the health condition and hygienic conditions of their particular country. So they people have to follow the hygienic conditions due to the coronavirus. They had to stop spreading the viruses. So people had to follow all the restrictions, all the rules, what they have to follow to stop the coronavirus from spreading. So this type of isolations made the nations very crisis oriented and they had to manage with this crisis how they can live with the coronavirus and how they can be developed, especially there economically and politically and socially. Then borders are closed, the commercial flights are decreased around the world. As we were talking earlier, the countries' borders, especially the Scandinavian countries or European countries, land borders were closed to other nations. They wanted to stop, especially the country leaders. They put order not to come or go from their country to other countries. So due to this spread of coronavirus, then commercial flights, especially those who were flying for their other cultural aspects or tourism aspects are also got stopped. Many people, they don't want to go to the different countries, especially in Sri Lanka. They have stopped coming also. Now slowly the tourism started coming. The Sri Lanka is able to control the coronavirus to much extent because of their very serious and strict rules were imposed by the government, and three powerful air forces and armed forces and other leaders were very strict on the people, and they had to follow the coronavirus rules from getting spread. So this made other countries also to stop their relationship with other countries. So this is another aspect around the world. This also contributed for the stopping of the diplomatic relations with other countries. During this time, the non-government actors were very strong, interconnected, and global in their affairs. We could say how the non-government actors during this time, coronavirus period, a lot of the curfews were imposed, and the wage earners of the particular areas could not able to move out for their employment. This was the major problem. Their family depended on their wage earning money, and they were not, they did not get any proper food and proper health situations and proper other facilities. So during this time, many organizations, non-government organizations, they were active, and many gave this special food, dry food packets were given to the people who were not able to get out, the poverty-ridden people and poor people. And this was the situation by the non-government organization. They were very good in their supporting of the poor people, and they provided the dry food items to many people from different areas. So this was the very good service by the non-government actors. And when we say the future, how the future can be really seen due to this coronavirus situation, and how the actors, international actors, can be planned. The every political perspective should present possible incidents and global political changes and international relations. So we must think in a very positive way how political perspective can be possible at this present time. So they have to take decisions very positively for the development of the nations. The diplomatic relations should be changed according to the present economic situations, how the economy can be developed, how the political perspective and other possible incidents can be developed. Then common support on international relations. So the United Nations, World Health Organizations, UNICEF, and every other international organizations can help for the support of international relations, for the development of the children, education of the children, for the improvement of the poverty situations, improvement of the health situation. So how the common support can be developed through the international relations to cope up with the, or to reduce or come out from the coronavirus situations. So the increase the number of social democracies in the world. So after this incident, coronavirus, they have to increase the social democracies. So then only the normalcy can be developed, the social development can take place. So this is the educational development can take place. All the development can take place after this when the democracy, real democracy is allowed in the world. It has to be increased. The political responsibility will be more serious. So when the political leaders of the particular nations from the regions, they have to be very serious, or they have to concentrate in their service for the people very politically. the real law should be imposed to control all the anomalies. So their responsibility, country's responsibility is there for the development of the country in a very serious way. So political leadership really should take care for the improvement of the people. So they have to come out from the coronavirus situations, and they have to go for their normal life. And not only that, they have to improve from the beginning. So the universities are shut down, the education institutions are shut down. So people, we are not able to meet the students. So students were not able to allow to come into the university premises. So this situation should be changed for the betterment. Then political discourse would lead to future expectations. So what we say, the political discourse in the sense, the problems of the particular country through the should be solved through the political discussions. They should have a open-minded discussions with the political parties, and they should help their own people to go for the future expectations, future development of the particular country. So then only the political discourse will take place very positively. Then only the development can take place without any uh, problems. So this should be changed. The security in the expansion of the institutions. So when the United Nations and other institutions are uh, uh, imposing or expanding their executions of their duties, they have to be very secure. They have to be saved from their other problems or other threats. So security aspects of the institution should be developed. So they have to serve in a very calm way, in a very peaceful way. Then only the development can take place. The institution should be protected from the external threat. That is the most important aspect. Then we look up the clash in demographic. One dominant power might return as a high politics. So we all fear that after this coronavirus, there will be a one nation with high politics, and it will come up or return with the dominant power. So this is another aspects clash in the demographic scene. So we have to see how this superpower or single power or high politics can be handled by the nations, how it is going to tackle these situations. Other countries, are they going to be a dependent to this country, or are they going to be as the country or superpower or high politics dictatorship? So we should be able to understand, or other regional nations should have a common policy, or they should join hands to act according to the situations. The new diplomatic ties also will come. We can say the new diplomatic ties in the sense, after this coronavirus, new policies can be drafted, and the new regions can be joined together as SARC or ASEAN, like that. In the SARC region, we can see how India is leading a very big, powerful role, or playing a powerful role in the SARC regions. So the problems can be solved, and we can see the ASEAN, how it is controlling the economical aspects of the regions, how they are having the communications, economic communications on those areas. Then single political theory may appear like after World War One. So after World War One, we could say how the particular countries, they followed the single political theory to go for the peaceful nations, but it was not correct those days. After the World War One, the League of Nations, they tried to come up for the peaceful situation, but everything got shattered after some time, after the secret agreements with the nations, and after going for aspiring for the armed struggles and all, it was not possible at all. The Second World War broke up. So this was the situation on that single political theory. The new international governing bodies also will be created. We can say after this situation, the new international governing bodies. So they should serve for the nation's development. They should see how the public got suffered during this coronavirus period, and they suffered in many ways. So these situations should be overcome by the new international governing bodies. They should understand how they can give an opportunity for the country to develop in a very multiple way. So economically, politically, and socially. So when they concentrate on this development of this aspects, the new international governing body can be functioned very well. It should create a very good environment of very good situations, conducive situations for the uh, full-fledged development of the nations. Then search for recovery will be found. We can say how we had suffered a lot in the coronavirus, all the countries unable to um, communicate properly, go for a very transports were stopped and no proper communication with other countries. Only by Zoom we are like how we are communicating programs, conducting programs like that. We suffered a lot due to this coronavirus, and the recovery, the proper recovery, the people should have a good health. They should eat well and have a good health, and the immunity should be developed, then they can fight the coronavirus very well. So this type of search for recovery will be found in many ways. So this will save the people from going a very bad situation. Then some sort of new directions and control of the balance of powers and relations will be developed. We are expecting the good relationship between the countries. Suppose if there will be a multiple balance of powers, they should have a good relationship for the development of the nations. The new directions or new policies should control over the new balance of powers, and relations will be developed for the betterment of the people of the particular nations. So they have to shed all the differences, how they are thinking that they are the superpower, or they are having all the arms to control other nations, all uh, the powers they should have. That type of thinking now is got reduced, and they should go for the real development of the nations. When the diplomatic relationship is developed for the betterment in a positive way, then only we can stop the destruction of the people or destruction of the nations. So this type of relationship should develop in a very positive way with the balance of powers. So when the balance of powers are functioning very neutral, functioning a very better way, they can really have a good relationship with the nations, and they can really develop for the betterment. Every country got their own resources, got their own special characters. They are having their own language, their own ethnic groups, their own resources. So this type of all positive aspects should develop with the positive thinking. So all the nations should can be developed with this idea. So these directions, new directions, should lead for the real development of the country. So this is the time to create a new situation for the diplomatic relationship, for the development of the nations, in turn for the development of the public. So it is actually when we are trying to come to the end of the program, so there may be different things in ideas for the new development of the diplomatic relations. So the countries go for the development. We should think in the line of developing the nations. So the new world order will be created. The conclusion I would like to say, the new world order, when it is created, it should have all the positive aspects for the nations, for the people, and for every other thing for the betterment. We all are human beings. We all should get a good life. We all should have a proper development. We all should go for the good relationship with the countries. The diplomatic relationship should develop for the betterment of the regions, and as a whole, the global world. So the coronavirus really put us in a very different way to behave with the nation uh, for the um, for the development. Actually, the coronavirus made us to think in a very different way also. How the political parties, how the political actors can think in a very good way for the good relationship with the countries. So all the nations, whatever the superpower, whatever the armed struggle, or whatever the terrorism is there, so they should shed all the differences for the betterment of the development of the nations. So that could be a very good conclusion. And the political theories and other diplomatic international relations theories are there, but all the theories and other relations go for the betterment of the country. The America has a lot of ideas for the development of their own country and for the good relationship with the other nations also. I think they have learned a good lesson because of the coronavirus and the pandemic. Many people in that they died, so they by now they might have learned so many lessons. They wanted to try a good relationship with India, with other Europe and other international institutions, Russia and other countries. So America also should have a good idea in the future. I think it will have a good relationship with other countries, and China especially wanted to play a big role and wanted to be a superpower and unipolar. So these situations we have to see how it can be seen in a multiple way. There were a lot of videos are coming up how China is spreading its tentacles to all over the world in different ways. So this also creating a mental problem for the other countries. So other countries are getting scared how we can detect the uh, the spread of China's ideas. China's economy is everywhere. So economically, how we can improve? So we have our own resources. So this coronavirus taught us to have a self-sufficient within your country itself. So you have to go for your own agriculture, own production, your own resources. So don't depend on other resources. So this is the situation to realize your own importance, own country's resources importance. So this situation really should have a good development. When you look up at all the other countries' diplomatic relations, I think in the future we will have a good relationship with all the countries. So whatever the regions may have a good relationship in the name of SAARC or ASEAN and other countries. Then European nations, East European, West European countries, America, especially, they should think in the line of having a good diplomatic relationship and political relationship with the nations. So this is the opportunity for everybody to think in a very good diplomatic relations with other countries. So the post-coronavirus situation will be a very a good thing. And the new world order, if it is created, it should be a very good one, and for the betterment of the nations, especially all the nations who suffered a lot in the during the coronavirus period. So the new order or new thinking or new political situation should put every nation in a better way. So I would like to thank the organizing committee of the Annamalai University Department of Political Science for the faculty development program. They had really arranged this program very successfully, and I am really thankful to all of you to give me this opportunity, and I am really thankful the whole audience for your peaceful hearing of this session. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Sir, sir. Hello.
Thanks, Professor, for your detailed deliberation and insight about how the post COVID 19 international relations will. That is true that this is the, you said that all the countries are busy with their domestic and internal crisis, but I think China is very much free to take care of all other than COVID-19. It is very much interested to disturb the borders and neighboring countries. So certainly there will be a new world order, but what I predict that in future, China will be isolated by most of the major nations of European continent and America, and also some Asians like Japan, India. They would not like to maintain any cordial relationship with China. So China will find it, that is my prediction, China will find it itself in a difficult situation after the COVID-19 pandemic is over. Anyway, thank you very much. And now the audience can pose question to ma'am for interaction session is on. You can ask your question either through chat box or by raising your hand, and the host will allow you to ask the question by unmuting you. Thank you. Any questions? Any questions from audience, please?
I think no questions from the audience, isn't it?
No, ma'am.
No,
There
let
is
me
a
see.
question from Anamika.
Anamika?
Anamika.
There is a question from Anamika.
Okay.
We have so much natural resources. but
Yes.
we can't utilize those properly due to the difference in opinion of different political parties. How actual betterment is possible for our country?
Uh, yes, though we have a good resources, because the political parties, they should think in a very broad-mindedly, because this is our resources. So we have to use for the development of our country, irrespective of political issues or caste issues or other issues. So this should be seen into a very proper way, because we cannot narrow down the development of the country. We cannot narrow down the looking at the resources in a different aspects. So all, whatever the party comes, whatever the organization comes, they should continue the program but it was already started. So the political differences should be shed for the development of the resource or the utilize of the resources. So that is my opinion. So they should look at it for the betterment of the people. The resources should be utilized for the betterment of the public. So they should, all the political parties, why are they are? They are for the development of the people, isn't it? So that is my opinion regarding the questions. Miss Anamika, thank you.
Okay, there is another question from PG Kulkarni, ma'am.
Okay.
He is asking, China is supporting neighboring countries like Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan by providing financial assistance. Has India's role diminished in South Asian countries? How do you look at this issue?
Yes, how America supported earlier like this. Now the China is trying to put its tentacles over this area and trying to demonize India's role in this region. So India should have a good diplomatic relations with these countries. Earlier they were together, these regions, before the partition of these regions, India was together, one country with Nepal, Bhutan, everything, landlocked countries. So the India should develop a good diplomatic relations in order to detect the other countries' influence in this region. So that is there.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And there is
Thank
another
you.
question from one person. The name is not mentioned in chat.
Okay.
Uh, what are the chances of India to become major regional power as COVID-19 is emerging and its bitterness with China?
Um, so winning chances are there. So we should have some type of good diplomatic relationship to uh, win over the China's exploitation or China's influences over these regions. So they should sit down and think in a very good way how this can be really controlled, or how the relationship with China in this region with other country, how the India's relations with these regions, how China is trying to take over. So in this way, how India can win over? In what are the aspects India can win over with the with the region nations? So they should go into the hearts of the people and try to know the ideas of the other country, other nations. So what type of link they have with India, so how it can win over the ideas of the other people, and in turn they can control the China's influence over this region. So there are many tensed areas are in the neighboring regions. So how it can be tackled? So that type of ideas, that type of relationship is the relationship in the sense how India can go for a good relationship with the nations where China is having a relationship. So in this way, they can learn so many things, and they can get a idea from the other country. I mean, neighboring country. So on what way they are weak, on what way they wanted India to help them. So how India can help the region in order to overcome China's influence in these regions. So those type of learning is very important. Learning of the heart of the neighbors is also very important. So that type of that is the idea I can really give to you. So
There is a question from Maya ma'am. She asked what will be the new order in Sri Lanka for the COVID-19.
Mm, um, so actually, in Sri Lanka, they are highly controlling the spread of coronavirus in a very effective way, because almost we had a very uh, this curfew were there very frequently. Even now, even before 2 weeks only, the curfews were lifted and people's movement was stopped. The social distance were maintained, the transports were all stopped, and no transport between the districts earlier due to very heavy time. And now only the government got relaxed all the things for the sake of elections. So in that way, it brought down all the people from different countries, all the Sri Lankans from different countries to Sri Lanka uh, to treat them if they were infected coronavirus. To treat them, they have brought down those people from different countries. We are not having a flight communications are not there now. The slowly they starting. So that is the and all the major leaders, armed leader, air force leader, and naval leaders were put into the responsible positions to control the people, to go from the different ways, or to make them to control the coronavirus in such a way. The government of Sri Lanka really control the coronavirus. Also, in the future, we can say how it will develop the relationship with other countries. So we can wait and see. After the elections are over, only we can really see their activities, the political or government, new governments, how they are going to have a good relationship, or better relationship with the nations.
Thank you, ma'am. And another question from Lalian. Is India failed in a foreign policy by losing its neighboring countries to China? This is question from Lalian. Is India failed in her foreign policy by losing its neighboring countries
To
to
China.
China? Yes.
Actually, the former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru had a very concerted policy to have a good relationship with her neighbors and as well as with her Commonwealth countries. So, so I don't know. As you said, India failed in her foreign policy. There were a lot of diplomatics were there. The good high commissioners were there in India to look at the development of the diplomatic development of the country. So there won't be any chance to India to fail in that foreign policy, and how it is with the China. It lost her neighbors to China. So India, I think India has failed in looking at her neighbors in a different way, and I don't know. India led China to come into the neighboring countries. So what were the loopholes, or why? So what was the weak point of the regions? So these weak points were touched by China, and they were able to win over. So in the weak points, only the China had got into those regions. So that has to be studied in a very deeply. So the diplomatic relationship of India should really. There were a lot of good studies were there, but at the same time, I am not so expert in the diplomatic studies. But at the same time, as a foreign policy creation or foreign policy makers, they should concentrate on these things, and they should see what is weak, what is strong, what points are there to catch up the neighbors. So So those things have to be studied in a very systematic way and try to uh, control the expansion of China, because in everywhere now China's goods are there. So in small items everywhere China's products are there. How it was possible? So India, how can they control this spread of China's influence over her neighbors? Should be studied in a very well way.
Thank you, ma'am.
Savanesan,
There
shall
is
I
no
want?
other questions. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, uh, Thank you, all the participants. And Professor has taken all your questions and tried to give her answer. But I think if you ask her about India's foreign policy, it may not be easy for her to answer. And I also agree with her that certainly India has not failed. See, foreign policies they keep on changing. Our relations, no relations with neighbors, they keep on changing. Today, if Nepal is doing something against India, that is behind China is there. But if again some direct issue comes between India and Nepal, then you will see that Nepal will very easily come to support India or to. So it's all changing things. It all comes, national interests are the supreme thing in international relations. So any nation will not try to lose. And I won't say that we have failed. Actually, unfortunately, we are having a very strong enemy near us, that is China, no? And that too it is a communist country. If it was a democracy was there, it was easier for us to combat China. But being a communist country, military based nation, things are little difficult for us. But I don't think so we have failed. That is my opinion. I think all of us, it is not patriotism, but it is the reality. It is the fact that in international relation, nothing stays permanently. It keeps on changing day one, from first day to second day to third day, week onwards. Okay? Anyway, thanks everyone for your active participation and making this session live. Thanks Anusia madam once again for being with us from Sri Lanka. It's our pleasure to have you with us. And I think we should wind up this session now. And at afternoon 2:30, again, we have a very interesting session. You all join, and that will be the last session. For that, you all might have been waiting since it is, I think, 7th day long this FDP. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, Madam Neelam, Madam. Really, I am
Thank
thankful to the Annamalai University Department of Political Science, Public Administration, and gave me a very good opportunity to stand in front of you all. And this is the first time Annamalai University Department of Political Science gave me this opportunity. I think I will have a good relationship with the university department.
Sure,
And I would like
sure.
to the India's relations with China from the ancient period was very high. You know, the
Yeah.
Parsi and the Buddhist monk came, and during Mauryan period, and those relations were good. Though Buddhism spread from here, so as you said, the relationship, international relations keep on changing time to time. So that is the thing is happening now, and I am thankful to all the head of the department, Neela Madam, Dr. Subramanian, and Dr. Ada Subramanian, and the Janu Vijay, Mr. Sagar, everybody who were involved in this program. So they are very good, and they help me a lot. And thankful to all of you to give me this golden opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.